Hello everyone, this is Dr. Manish Patel and you are watching my channel Let's Dissect Anatomy. In practical video series, today I am going to teach you the study of the skull from front means norma frontalis. So first of all, the bones that we can see from front. Here you can notice this is the frontal bone, zygomatic bone, maxilla, mandible, nasal bone. These are the bones that we can see from front, right? Now for the better understanding, we will divide the whole norma frontalis into four parts. The first one is the frontal region, means this much area. The second one is orbital region, this much area. Third one is the nasal region, means this much area. And fourth one is rest of the frontalis. So first we will start with the frontal region. In the frontal region, here you can notice a small rounded projection is there over here. This is called frontal tuber or frontal eminence. Same as parietal tuber and parietal eminence, this is the frontal tuber, but the convexity and prominence is less than the parietal eminence. The second feature that we can see over this region is this raised line. Here you can see one on each side. This raised line is called superciliary arch. In between two superciliary arch, here is the small prominence. You can notice this is the bindi point. Actually it is known as glabella. I have shown you in norma occipitalis. If you don't remember, you can view that video also. So this is the bindi point, which is known as the glabella. The fourth structure or feature in this region, here you can notice this is the frontal bone and this is the nasal bone. So the suture in between them, this is called frontonasal suture. This is the frontonasal suture, and between two nasal bone one more suture is there. It is the internasal suture. So by this way it forms a T-shaped suture here and here. So junction of this frontonasal and internasal suture, it is called nasion, N-A-S-I-O-N. This is the nasion and it is the most common site of fracture over the face, responsible for the nasal bleeding. So that is about the frontal region. The next region is orbital region. Here you can notice it is somewhat quadrilateral in shape, meaning it has total four margins: superior, inferior, lateral and medial. Here you can see the superior margin, it is formed by the frontal bone. At junction of its medial 1/3 and lateral 2/3, you can see a notch or a foramen. This side, that is a foramen, this side you can see a notch. So it may be both side have foramen or both side have notch, or it is also possible one side have a foramen and one side have a notch. So the notch over the supraorbital margin, it is known as the supraorbital notch or supraorbital foramen. Now the infraorbital margin, here you can see it is formed by the union of two bones, maxilla and zygomatic bone, and the suture between them, this is the zygomatico-maxillary suture. Below the infraorbital margin, you can see a foramen, one on each side. It is the infraorbital foramen. Here you can see this is the lateral border. The upper part is formed by the frontal bone, lower part is formed by the zygomatic bone, and the suture between them, this is the zygomatico-frontal suture. Now this is the medial margin. Here it is again formed by the two bones, frontal bone and maxilla, and the suture between them is frontomaxillary suture. Okay, so this is all about the orbital region. Then comes the nasal region. This is the nasal region. Here you can notice it is pyriform shape, okay, pear shape. The upper boundary is formed by the lower border of this right and left nasal bone, and at the lower part you can see a C-shaped notch or curve. It is formed by the both the right and left maxilla. So this C-shaped notch is called nasal notch of maxilla, right and left. Here you can see between two notches a spine-like projection. Here you can see over the tip of the pen, this is the spine-like projection. It is called anterior nasal spine. As it is the spine-like projection and situated anteriorly over the nasal region, the name will be anterior nasal spine, right? Here you can see both the nasal bone are there. In between them there is suture. This is called internasal suture. And as I said, in the frontal region, the union or meeting point between frontonasal suture and internasal suture, this is the nasion. Same way, the lowermost point of this suture means internasal suture, this one, this is called rhinion, R-H-I-N-I-O-N, rhinion. This is nasion and this is rhinion. Here you can notice the two nasal bones are articulated with the frontal bone as well as maxilla bone. So the suture between nasal and maxilla, this one and this one, this is called nasomaxillary suture. This one is called frontonasal suture and this one is called frontomaxillary suture. Okay, so this is the nasal region. The last part, that is the rest of the frontalis, which includes mainly three bones: zygomatic bone, maxilla and mandible. Maxilla and mandible, we will discuss them separately in detail. Right now I will just tell you the front view, the features over the front view of the maxilla and mandible. This is the zygomatic bone, which is responsible for the superolateral prominence over the cheek. Here you can notice there is a foramen over here and over here. The foramen which presents over the zygomatic bone, this is called zygomaticofacial foramen, right? Now maxilla, this is the right and left maxilla articulated with each other by a suture. This suture is called intermaxillary suture. The foramen over which, just below the infraorbital margin, we have already discussed, this is the infraorbital foramen, and the C-shaped notch is nasal notch of maxilla. The lowermost point of this intermaxillary suture means this one, it is known as prostheon. Okay, so that is the front view of the maxilla. Now mandible, the front view of the mandible, you can see it has two borders: upper border, which is also known as the alveolar border, and lower border, which is also known as the base of the mandible. Over here you can see a rounded prominence. This is called mental protuberance. It traces laterally over here and forms the two small projection over here and here. They are called mental tubercles. The line which shows that there will be a joint in the past here, this is the symphysis menti. The foramen on each side, you can see they are known as the mental foramen. Okay, these are the incisor teeth. So the depression below, it is called lower incisive fossa, and depression above or the maxilla, it is called upper incisive fossa. Okay, so these are the four parts of the frontalis. The sutures that we can see in this view are total 8 sutures. 2 Nasal means frontonasal and internasal. Then 5 maxillary, that is nasomaxillary, this one. Then frontomaxillary, this one. Then lacrimomaxillary means this one. Then zygomaticomaxillary means this one. Then intermaxillary. So these are the 5 maxillary, 7 and 1 different, that is zygomatico-frontal suture. So total we can see 8 sutures in this view. Now structure passing through foramen. So total we have seen 4 foramens in this view: supraorbital, infraorbital, zygomatico-facial, and this one is mental foramen. So supraorbital foramen transmits supraorbital nerves and vessels. Infraorbital foramen transmits infraorbital nerves and vessels. Mental foramen transmits mental nerve and vessels, while zygomatico-facial foramen transmits zygomatico-facial nerve only, no vessels. Now the attachments over this view. So many attachments are there, so many facial muscles are attached over here, but for easy conveniency we will divide them into 4 groups. First we will discuss the muscles around the orbit and frontal part. So as all of you know, here there is a attachment of frontalis. Then second, the medial part of the superciliary arch, this one gives attachment to the corrugator supercilii. Here just below the medial end, vertically arranged over here, depressor supercilii. Then orbicularis oculi, it is the ring shaped muscle. It has 2 parts, one originates from the maxilla and another originates from the frontal bone. So this extension of maxilla towards the frontal bone, this is called frontal process of maxilla. The extension of maxilla towards the zygomatic bone, it is called zygomatic process of maxilla. This part, curved part which forms the alveolar process, it is called alveolar process of maxilla. So the one part of the orbicularis oculi developed from the frontal process of maxilla, it goes like this and ends over here. Another part develops from the frontal bone, it goes like this and ends over here. Like this it forms the ring, that is orbicularis oculi. Then the median palpebral ligament is developed from here, attached over here between the 2 heads of the orbicularis oculi, right? So by this way, over this region we have 5 muscles: frontalis, corrugator supercilii, depressor supercilii, orbicularis oculi, and median palpebral ligament. 5 attachments over here. The next group around the nasal part, here there is a attachment of procerus muscle over the root of the nose, nasal bone. Then over here there is a compressor nares, and over here there is over this part there is a dilator nares. The compressor nares compresses the nose, dilator nares dilates the nose. Then at the nasal notch of maxilla, here and here, there is attachment of nasalis. Okay, so 4 muscles in this region: nasalis, compressor nares, dilator nares, and nasalis. So 5 plus 4, 9 muscles. Then the next group, third group, here it is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. They are arranged like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one over here, it is levator labii superioris aliqui nasi. over here. Second one is situated over here. It is levator labii superioris. The third one, zygomaticus minor, and the fourth one, the lateral most among four, zygomaticus major. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row from medial to lateral. So 5 plus 4 plus 4, 13, right? Then the next group, it is around the mouth, muscles around the mouth. So just below the anterior nasal spine, over here there is attachment of depressor septi. Then below that, over the incisive fossa, incisivus over here. Then over the canine fossa, over here and here, the fossa above the canine teeth, it is called canine fossa. From here there is the origin of the levator anguli oris. Over here there is the attachment of depressor anguli oris. Over here, just below the mental foramen, depressor labii inferioris, and over here the lower incisive fossa, attachment of mentalis. This is the oblique line of the mandible, this one and this one. Over here there is the attachment of buccinator muscle. Buccinator attached over here and here, this part, alveolar process of posterior part of the alveolar process of the maxilla and oblique line of the mandible. There is attachment of buccinator, and behind which there is attachment of rhizorius. So here you can notice so many muscles are there around the mouth. 1, depressor septi, 2, incisivus, 3, levator anguli oris, 4, depressor anguli oris, 5, depressor labii inferioris, 6, mentalis, 7, buccinator, 8, rhizorius, and around the mouth, both over the alveolar process of maxilla and upper border of the mandible, there is a orbicularis oris. Okay, so these are the attachments over the frontalis. So that is all about norma frontalis. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon and share it to your friends. Okay, so see you in the next practical video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.